Parker coming at you. I got a couple of special guests here, as you can see from the TV. The man himself, Babyface Huey, and his nephew, Bryce Parker, who I'm sure many of you guys know. And so those of you that have been following, I won Babyface's Huey's 100 sub, well, actually it wasn't even 100 sub giveaways, just for the heck of it giveaway.
For the heck of it.
Yeah, so I won it just for the heck of it giveaway. Stating like 4 tobaccos that I hadn't tried that I wanted to. He went ahead and sent them my way, so I figured it'd be pretty cool to get together and actually film the review or the first impression on camera with the two of us. And then obviously is his nephew Bryce Parker, who is an expert on the blend we're going to be reviewing today, joined in as well. So pretty cool. We got the 3 of us. This is the first time I've ever tried anything like this, so hopefully it turns out good. Mike's filming it from his side too, so if it doesn't work out on my side, at least he'll have some good videos as well. And I'll let these guys talk a little bit too here real quick.
Yeah, I would say first of all, I was really happy you won. It was obviously just a drawing, but you've been so abundant to the YTPC, and this is a great innovative idea. And so those of you watching, maybe from my channel or Bryce's, that I don't know how you would not know about Corncob Piper, but if you don't, you need to be subscribing here because it's his innovative idea that put this all together. And I think it continues in the vein of what I started with this giveaway, which really I didn't start. I picked up from the Chicago place of just how do you share some pins together with recommendation stuff. So this kind of goes on to the next level. So major kudos to you, Corey.
Yeah, well, thanks for sending me the tobacco. I definitely very much appreciate it. As always, guys, I'm going to have the links for both these guys' channels down below. I'm pretty sure you already know who they are, but make sure to sub to them if you don't, for whatever reason. Bryce look at all stirred and stuff with his sunglasses on there.
Right, so Blackwoods Flake,
you're off screen.
Oh,
you got to lean towards me, bro.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Blackwoods Flake is definitely my favorite tin. So I'm just gonna go over again. I in a VR to my uncle, I went over how to pack it. At least broken flake. Well, what you want to keep in mind. Here. All right. Let's see if you guys see that. They're all broken, right? So all you need to do is pinch some.
Maybe I'll move that down so you can catch that better.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. You can see that. Just like that. And as you can see, all the strands of tobacco are vertical. And then I just stick it in my pipe. Just like that. And the extra, if there's too much, I cut it off. And then I pinch it down. And that's it.
So I have never had luck with a fold-in stuff or any kind of stuff method like you're doing, Bryce. And I've tried your method and it failed. I don't know what it is. Maybe I packed my pipes too tight or whatever it is. But when I do a fold-in stuff or just trying to stuff a broken flake, I get what I would consider like a dam of tobacco. So it smokes fine for maybe the first quarter of the bowl, and then it builds up almost like a layer, like a bridge that I can't seem to get past it unless I poke the heck out of it and relight it. So I just find for me it's easier to rub it out, which I've done here, and you know, this is a little moist. I let mine sit for an hour. Did you guys do any dry time on yours at all?
It doesn't seem as moist as it would be right out of the tin.
Yeah, I jarred mine when I sent half the pack to you. I jarred mine, so it should be.
I got the match and cool.
But
I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera, but the match and cool label that.
Nice.
Mike,
hopefully you like that. I think I should create a.
Yeah, you should create a template and share it on one of your videos so we could use the template. I definitely would be interested in the future making some of these up for my jars, but I am not very computer savvy at all. I wouldn't even know where to begin to make some kind of a template like that.
All right. Well, I'll maybe make a Word document template and email it to you.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
That makes it easy for you.
All right.
And I think I will have time this week to put something like that together for you. So.
All right. Cool.
I'm going to just do a half a bowl. So is that what you would do? Yeah, I mean, you just kind of tap it down a little bit.
Just a little bit. And
I'm
Corey,
doing
I wanted to say, I know what you're talking about with the ball that you experienced with the. How I push past it is when you camp it, I scrape it off of the sides and then I mount it in the middle while I'm camping.
Okay.
So that's what I do. But
so I'm interested to see, like with the three of us, you know, they always say, you know, I always tell people don't try or not try a tobacco based off of what my review is, because everybody's tastes are different. So you're going to see here between the three of us, we're probably all going to have three different explanations of what this tobacco does for us. Yeah. So you guys want to do the jar now?
Sure.
So for me on the Jarno is disgusting. I cannot stand the taste of McClelland Virginia tobaccos, that ketchup smell. And when I smell their Virginias, I can never get past that ketchupiness to actually pick up any notes. All I get, let me close this out here real quick, sorry. All I get is ketchup from any of their Virginias. I don't ever get anything else. And I'm glad that that taste does not carry through into the smoke, because if that were the case, I would never smoke it with McClelland.
Is that what you think? Because I get something different.
Well, in that right now, because it's obviously been opened and the tobacco's been played with, so that ketchup smell has definitely mellowed out a little. So I'm getting more of like a grassy hayness.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. McClelland's undoubtedly smell like ketchup. And for me, even sometimes the ketchup comes out in the room note. I don't know why, but
yeah, my take so far is, you know, if I wouldn't have known, I would swear I'm over at the wood pile, getting wood out for my bonfire.
Okay.
You know, and they've named it Blackwoods Flake, so maybe it's after it dries out or something, or gets the ketchup, that woodsy stuff. But that's more the smell of. I mean, I see a little bit of the ketchup, but
from my understanding is that McClelland uses vinegar in the case their Virginia tobacco in vinegar, and when they age it, basically it starts to ferment because of the vinegar, and that's why it picks up that traditional classic McClelland Virginia smell. I'm not the biggest fan of ketchup and vinegar and stuff like that, so. When that hits my nose, that's all I can smell. So some of the reviews I've seen on this stuff, people will pick up, the hay notes or dark fruit and other things, but all I smell is tomato and vinegar. That's what I get out of it.
Okay.
So I guess let's go. Oh, so this is a black stoved Virginia and a red Virginia cake, pressed cake that's cut into flakes, broken flakes, and they're pretty large broken flakes. I can't really get close enough to the camera to show what the flakes look like. If you guys could pull one out, maybe. Yeah,
maybe what? Well, yeah. I was thinking of putting it on a lead, but that won't be on your video too. So if I can show that,
just so you guys can get an idea, and they're pretty thin flakes, I would say, for the most part. Not super thick like you get from a sand with or anything like that. Yeah. Rub out relatively easy, and I prefer my tobacco on the drier side. I let mine dry for like an hour after I rubbed it out. These guys are saying it's fine for them, so it really just depends on.
Well, we don't know.
Your taste.
Mine might be so wet that I can't keep it lit.
All right, so let's go ahead and get the charring light going, I guess. And by the way, I'm smoking from the. Got this on camera, the Country Gentleman that Mike gave me in the giveaway as well.
I don't know if I told you in that I bought two, one for you, one for me.
Okay, awesome, cool.
So at least you and I are smoking out of the exact same pipe in general.
So I always get on the char light on McClelland the vinegar taste, which goes away pretty much once I light up for the second time. But that initial blast, I get it, and thank God that it goes away, right away.
Yeah, for me, it comes into the smell coming out from my pipe. I definitely smell it.
So, Mike, do you smoke your cobs with a filter, or what about you too, Bryce? Do you use filters?
No filter.
No.
So I don't either. However, the bigger cobs always come with a filter.
Yeah.
And I leave it in for the first smoke. I figure if it's there, I
No,
might as well use it. It doesn't
okay.
bother me.
Yeah, I haven't taken my filter out from the purchase yet. You know, so same thing. Probably when this is done, I'll yank it out. But no.
Go ahead and what's your pipe you're smoking there, Bryce?
That's my P4 Dagner prototype, unfinished. Kind of looks like a cob, I guess.
So, what are your guys' initial thoughts? First quarter of the bowl, I guess.
Very airy. It's not, I don't know how, if there's a better word than that. Very light. Very light.
I would agree.
I always get a,
But it could be airy because of the way I packed it, though, too. Because I'm using your method versus rubbing it out.
it's ridiculously sweet on the tongue.
See, it's another thing I said, everybody's different. I don't pick up the sweetness right away. What I get initially is tartness, citrus, and hay. That's initially what I'm getting hit with. I do pick up the sweetness, but it's not until, at least maybe the third of the way through the bowl. This is a pretty dark flake for a Virginia flake. If you show me this flake, blind, I would tell you that it was probably like a Virginia Burley flake. That would be my guess. This is the only tobacco I think I've ever tried, flake-wise, with dark stoked in it. Usually the flakes, the Virginia flakes, at least the ones that I like the most, are a mix between the red and bright Virginias. Sam Gowis Full Virginia is my favorite, even though it is a pain in the butt to smoke. It is, in my opinion, the most delicious one over there. But it comes soaking wet, super thick. It's hard to rub out. I don't even know how it is if you try to fold and stuff or whatever. But even if you rub this stuff out, it doesn't smoke the greatest. So you struggle with it pretty much. And like all Virginias, I sit mine. I do quite a few relights because if I smoke Virginias too fast, I get tongue bite and not really interested in that.
Yeah. Do you try to use the breathing method instead to just, you know what I'm talking?
No. You're talking about like mutton chop pipers, the breathing method that he did? I've seen the videos. I'm a former cigarette smoker, so I puff quite aggressively. When I'm smoking a Virginia, I really have to make a conscious effort to slow down.
I've noticed the breathing method, where you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then breathe through slows that tempo down on, when I need to not puff so hard.
So I have yet to attempt it. I normally will breathe air in through my nose as I'm drawing in through the pipe on a lot of my hits, and I think you guys just froze. At least you're froze on my computer. No?
Oh, we're just sitting.
Okay.
Just sitting listening to you, bro.
You froze on my computer screen, but not on the TV. You guys were frozen there. So, and I just think that helps you get a better taste from a tobacco, especially if you're smoking an aromatic. If you use that method, I don't know. Do you guys do that? Do you breathe in through your nose as you're drawing in the pipe?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I never really thought of that, but yeah, I do.
And I think that just goes back to, that's something I did when I smoked cigarettes. I don't do it when you're ever smoking a cigar, because you get your whole nose full of cigar smoke and it burn, make your eyes water. But with a pipe, it's pretty nice. So being as you're the expert, Bryce, go through the different layers of the bowl. So the first quarter, third half.
I just want to put it out there that these guys are calling me the expert on it. But I have smoked a lot of it, I'll say that. And now I have the flavor profile like burned in my head, so that's almost all I taste at this point. You know what I mean? So I always just think of toasted marshmallows when I'm smoking it. So I get like a little toasty, almost like a peppery spiciness on my retrohale. and that with like the sweet creaminess just tastes like marshmallow to me. I don't know why, but that must be why I like it so much.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe it's power of suggestion, because after you say it, I taste a little more. Because initially, before you said that, I would have said I taste kind of like sweet hay, like somebody took hay and just caramelized it.
Yeah.
You know,
the
it's not a weird
taste
sugar.
is definitely
It's not sugar. It's like a caramelization. You know, which is probably where you're getting that marshmallow taste, because that's caramelized over the bonfire or something. You know.
I get on the retrohale more of like an earthiness, clay earthiness, and then some charcoal too. So if I were to compare it to a marshmallow, I would call mine more like a burnt marshmallow. When you torch it, you get that black shell on the outside. Is that what you're talking about, or are you actually talking about toasted? Where you
like a toasted marshmallow. Yeah, some blackenedness. I can see.
Yeah, I get more of. I see what you're saying. Like if the outside shell of like a burnt marshmallow, which that's the way I eat my marshmallows anyhow. I don't have time to sit there and.
Well, I noticed I don't retrohale that much, but so I just decided to do a couple. And I agree. On the retrohale, I definitely, except for here's the second-hand smoke, just blowing it. No, it's all good. I definitely taste that stuff you're talking about, kind of that woodsy, like you're around a bonfire type.
Like a forest floor. That's moss, earth. I get a lot of that. Do you guys retrohale when you're smoking a blend with lots of perique in it, or do you stay away from that? Perique, a lot of perique. Like do you smoke Haunted Bookshop?
Repeat the question. We couldn't hear you that well.
Would you when you smoke blends to have this? Obviously, guys, this doesn't have perique in it, but when you smoke tobacco blends that have perique in it, do you retrohale or do you stay away from retrohaling?
Yeah, I retrohale, but I don't retrohale right off of the puff. Does that make sense? I'll like let half of my puff, half the
I got
out.
it. Yeah.
Second half will come out of my nose.
I don't know how people do it. It's like breathing pepper through your nose. Sometimes when I try it, if I'm doing a review and it's a blend that's got perique in it and I retrohale, it'll make my eyes actually water a little bit.
Oh yeah. No, it doesn't do that to me.
Between us, Bryce retrohales a lot more than I do. You know, I might retrohale once or twice in a bowl.
I'm pretty much the same, maybe a little more, maybe a half dozen times throughout a bowl. I don't do a whole lot of retrohaling. I usually will do it more so like at different stages of the bowl. So first quarter, first half, last half type of deal, just to see if I can pick up any other changes.
Yeah. How often do you retrohale?
I retrohale every other puff.
Yeah, I mean, he's a serious retrohaler. He thought I was cool when I finally learned how to retrohale. Like now I've joined the Brotherhood or something, you know?
No, I just feel like I'm missing out on something if I don't. I really feel like I can taste the tobacco better. I mean, that's what it's for, right? But I probably do it too much.
Yeah. I guess it's probably never too much. I mean, everybody's got their own styles.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, when there is perique though, I will let most of my smoke out first, and then the last part of the smoke on my it'll come out of my nose. So.
Yeah.
So now I'm picking up quite a bit of.
I only have the guts to retrohale with perique. My nose is plugged, and I need something to clear it out. I mean, there's just no way. Might as well just take pepper and just throw it up my nose.
So I'm picking up quite a bit of like citrusy taste now, and I pick it up quite a bit throughout the bowl from the start to the finish. Do you guys get that at all? Tartness, citrusiness?
I kind of, the citrusiness, it's more like a slight tartness to me. But then again, I'm drinking an IPA, so it's a citrus IPA. So I can't really comment on that right now. But it usually comes out as like a more of like a tart. It's hard for me to describe that as a citrus.
Yeah, when I say citrus, I don't mean citrus like it tastes like an orange or a lemon or a lime. Yeah. I mean citrus like the tartness, like if you were basically just citric acid, citric acid taste. just that tartness.
Yeah, my problem is I'm just getting over some stuff in my throat that I just realized are allergies. And so I've been sipping on water with lemon in it, so that's probably not the best.
I'm drinking a Coca-Cola. I generally, when I'm smoking in Virginia, this is a trick that I do myself. I'll drink a carbonated beverage, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, whatever it may be, to help me judge whether I'm getting tongue bite or not. Because if you put a carbonated beverage on your tongue and you're starting to get tongue bite, your tongue will burn before it actually does, before the tongue bite hits. So if I take a sip of this and I feel a burn, I know that I need to put the pipe down and step away for a few minutes before I come back to it.
Yeah, the thing I've noticed that's changing from flavor, though, is I don't know how yours is burning, but I did the old method like Bryce has. And, you know, first car light was good, and then it took me a couple lights. But, you know, now it's really lit, you know, it's going.
Mine's burning pretty well. I've had to do a couple relights, but I've, you know, that's in general for me when I'm smoking any Virginia, just because I like to take my time with them. The first time that I ever smoked a Virginia, it was, I think, Sam DeWitt's Fire Dance Flake. And it's that raspberry or blackberry brandy flavored straight Virginia. Yep. And I got tongue bite so bad from smoking that I wasn't able to smoke a pipe or drink a pop for, it must have been a week or so. Soda, I'm sorry, some of you from the South or the East Coast probably don't know what pop is. I live in Florida now in the South, but I don't drink soda. I drink pop. What do you guys drink in Minnesota? So you guys say soda, right?
No, we say pop. That's where you got it from.
So yeah, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what people called it there. Yeah, so I would never drink soda. Never happened. So mine just went out. I think this might be my third relight, but like I said, I'm not puffing very hard.
Yeah, I just commented about how it stayed lit and then it went out.
It's usually the way it goes.
But it is a good smoke.
Oh, I'm definitely enjoying it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's definitely a nice flake. And I don't smoke a lot of flakes just because they have a tendency to irritate me.
What do you mean by irritate?
It's just too much work. When I smoke a pipe, I don't want to have to put the work in. I don't want to have to.
I just didn't know if you meant irritate your taste or.
No, I have to be in the mood for a flake. I got into smoking flakes for a while, and I was doing nothing but flakes. And then I smoked a ribbon. I don't remember what it was. I think it might have been Elizabethan, Dunhill Elizabethan, which is a fantastic burning tobacco, one of the best. And after that, I was like, I think I did a video about it where I mentioned that I'm staying away from flakes for a while. So I'm obviously smoking this because it's part of the giveaway and us getting together thing. But I'll probably.
Well, you were the one that asked for it too.
I do, and I wanted to try it, and I am. This is my third bowl of this stuff, so I am smoking it. But I'll probably smoke a couple more and stick this in the cellar. Because I'm always interested to see what tobaccos, especially Flake Virginia, tastes with like age. I'd like to be nice to get some plume, maybe revisit. I'll probably smoke half of what's left in here, leave the other half to age, and see what it's like. Maybe next summer, see what the difference is. Because Virginia is definitely, in my opinion, aged the best out of any tobaccos.
Yeah, there's some Blackwoods.
I got some plume growing on my Penzance, which I'm pretty excited about. I think I'm going to hold off to smoking anymore until like New Year's, and then see what it's like with some plume on it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So this is not, you would not say this has made it into one of your, of the four that you wanted to test, this one you like, but it's not going to make it into your regular rotation. Is that a fair assessment?
I would probably have to say that. Like I said, I don't smoke a lot of flakes, Virginia flakes. If I had to categorize myself into one category, I would say that I'm a light English smoker who mixes in aromatics, but I also mix Virginias in from time to time. I'll also mix Burleys in from time to time now. But there is no Virginia that I've smoked yet that would ever make it into my regular rotation.
So when you say Virginias, do you add vapors into that category?
Yes, because even like Elizabethan, which is my favorite vapor, it's still not part of my rotation. I'll dip into it once a month, a couple times a month. But I get in kicks. Like, I'm really enjoying this stuff. Like I said, it's my third bowl now in 2 days, and I'm definitely going to smoke some more before it goes in my cellar. So, but I just, you know, my rotation, if you wanted to say like my top 5 in my rotation right now, is Dunhill, My Mixture 965, GLP's Quite Nice, both Englishes. I got some Oriental Dreams from Tim, the Wharf Valley Boy, which is outstanding, and that's in, but I don't have a lot of it, but I'm going to make some. It's really my first Oriental experience other than Penzance. So I think I might be an Oriental guy. I'm not sure. So I think I'm going to pick up some more Orientals. I know McClelland makes some good ones and try those out. Sleepy Hollow's in my mix. Haunted Bookshop, which is a Burley, which is now in my rotation. And then Early Morning Pipes. So those 5 tobaccos are the ones that I reach for at the moment the most. Now, also from time to time, I'll reach for Virginia Flake or a different aromatic. I got like 40 more Burleys sitting in my closet that I still have to review. 1 ounce samples. You guys are not Burley smokers?
I'm not. I tried it after the Chicago Pipe Convention. You know, got some different samples, and you know, I would be smoking, and it was new in my you know, it was kind of nice because I didn't know what I didn't know, which means I didn't know what I did know either. You know, and so I would smoke a blend not really knowing what it is, and I could get a pretty pure, do I like it or do I not like it? Nobody had to tell me, oh, Mike, you're an English person, so therefore you like this. So the ones I just naturally go, man, just tastes like cigarettes. I just don't like it, you know, whatever. Then I go research it, and sure enough, it always had Burley in it.
Yeah.
And so that's so I started realizing. Now, I think I have 1 or 2 tins. I'd have to check what it is, but there's 1 or 2 that I have that are a blend of some Burley but cigar leaf. And excuse me, I'm anxious to try that. See how that works, because I do like that cigar leaf taste also in some of them. But
yeah,
like I tried Country Lawyer, which has those 2.
Man, I love that stuff.
And it wasn't my favorite.
That's Briarworks, the Country Lawyer.
Right, yeah. So, but I tried that early. You know, that's the other thing. You've talked about how you went to Burleys and now you're off. I think our tastes change, or they matured, might be a better word, because maybe coming back to Country Lawyer or something, I might like it now. You know, I don't know.
Well, I found that I definitely don't like just regular Burley, but I think I do like Darkfire. That's what's in.
It's a different process. They taste totally different to me. So after smoking all these Burleys that I've smoked, there are only really just a few that have stood out for me. I'm still not a Burley smoker or a Burley lover, but there's a few that I'll be revisiting in the future, and I really like smoking Haunted Bookshop. Not so much for the taste, because it's not the greatest tasting tobacco I've ever had, but it's full of nicotine, and it's. Being a former cigarette smoker, I can never judge nicotine in a pipe. I don't ever feel it. But with that stuff, I can tell it's there, which is nice, at least for me.
Well, yeah, me too. I was a former smoker too.
Yeah, I'm not a former smoker, so personally I don't like the nicotine hits, but I'm not a former smoker, you know.
Yeah, like I smoked the Black Double X, which has been known to put people on the floor nicotine wise.
Yeah.
And it didn't even faze me. Like I couldn't tell that there was nicotine in it, which is, but for some reason with the Haunted Bookshop, and I think it's because Burleys you could just puff and puff and puff and it'll never give you tongue bite. I think that I could smoke it quick enough where the nicotine where I could actually feel it.
So changing the subject a little bit because we've talked a little bit about rotations and how much we go through different things. Each of you guys share. I mean, how often do you go through a tin or?
A tin is probably
or 2 days or what do you guys?
I get about probably, if I had to guess, maybe 15, 16 bowls from a tin, depending on what I'm smoking. If I'm smoking a bunch of smaller cobs, obviously that number goes up. But I would say on average probably 15 bowls from a tin. And I'll generally, if I open a tin, I'll go through it in 2 weeks. I generally smoke just that tin, and I'll mix other stuff in there. Like I always find myself going back to Dunhill My Mixture 965, no matter what I'm smoking. It's that one blend that can never go wrong for me. Not my favorite tasting. I would say that would have to be GLP's Quiet Nights. But as far as smokability and flavor and just, it's my comfort tobacco, I guess, is really what it is. And I'll always mix that in. I like to usually smoke that the first bowl of the day, but then I'll usually go into the tin. So like when I was doing all these Burley reviews, I was ordering an ounce, which probably like 10 bowls, maybe 8, 10 bowls I would get. And I would primarily just smoke that ounce till it was gone, unless I didn't like it. I had a bag that I was putting stuff aside that I didn't like, and I've sent that off to some people that I know that like Burleys, but I wanted so bad during that month-long experiment that I was doing to smoke in English. And by when I wasn't done with the series by the end of the month, because it was just too hard to do a review every day, that was the first thing I smoked. And I smoked nothing but Englishes for like 2-3 days. So.
How about you, Bryce?
It takes me about, because I guess I just like options. So it takes me probably around 2 months to go through a tin, because I'll have, right now I have at least 15 options available in my smoking drawer, is what I call it. And I choose something different every time I try. I force myself to not just...
What do you guys do with tins that you open and you smoke it, and it's just, it's okay, but it's not the greatest. I generally cellar mine, and then with the thought in my head that I'm going to go back to them. But every time I open up my cabinet, I never want to reach for any of those tobaccos. So I'm thinking like at the first of the year that if there's tobaccos in there that I haven't touched from January to January, I'm just going to give them to somebody, because I'm never going to smoke them.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I got aromatics like that. Couple Englishes that were just they were just okay, and I never went back to them. I smoked a bowl or two, and I have no desire really to ever reach for them.
Yeah, I would say I'm a little bit unique in that I travel so much that when I'm gone, I leverage that time to really get to know one tobacco really well. And so I take one tobacco with me that I either it's out of my regular rotation that I really want to know better, or like I'll take 965 with me, or something that somebody's recommended to me. But then when I come back, that's when I do my variety. But I definitely go through probably half an ounce to 3/4 of an ounce while I'm gone in a week. So I suppose if I would have smoked it straight, it's about the same. Probably take me about 2 weeks to get through it.
Yeah,
I have a shelf of here's my rotation Englishes, here's my rotation Virginias, here's my rotation aromatics, because my wife loves aromatics, and I like some aromatics too. I mean, there's some I like. And then I have another shelf that's to be tested, to be tried, stuff like that, that I'm like 1 or 2 at a time that I'll test. But I keep the majority of it there. And then,
yeah, so it's all relative. The more I like a tobacco, the quicker I'll go through it. If I wasn't interested in cellaring some of this, I would burn through this probably by the weekend. By next weekend, it will be gone. But I'm going to save half of it.
It's funny you said the 965, because that's totally one tobacco that I have put aside, trying later.
You didn't like it so much?
You don't like it that much?
No.
Do you
I probably tried it too early in my pipe smoking.
I like Englishes, but I don't like Latakia bombs. So I found that out early. The first time I smoked Quiet Nights, I thought it was the most disgusting tobacco I've ever had. I would never touch that stuff again. It's just too much
Latakia. I like Melissa's a lot, and so when I tried your 965, I thought it was good. It was a little light on the flavor. It smokes really well, like you said. I don't know. Would you say mine are Latakia bombs that I like?
Yeah.
Are they? All right. Well, I definitely like stronger tasting stuff.
You like your Latakia, yeah.
I do like Latakia.
I like Latakia. It's just there's too much in there. It overtakes everything, and all I can taste is campfire.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Lane BS005 is... All right, so I don't even remember what we were talking about. Sorry, guys.
We were talking about cellars and that...
Oh, that's right.
Latakia bombs, they last 3-5 years, maybe 10 at the long, and then they start to sour after that. And he was saying, straight Virginias, like what we're smoking, can go 20, 30, 40 years and keep going. And he even
I think it's probably has a lot to do with the amount of sugar in the tobacco.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's really much or any sugar in a Latakia.
Yeah.
Speaking of cellar tobacco, I haven't tried the vintage Syrian you sent me. I'm sorry, I forgot. I need to get your fresher stuff out in the mail to you.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Vintage Syrian.
See,
I haven't had time. Honestly, the way I look at this is I'd be up for the first 4 weeks just testing the stuff that's in your giveaway, and then after that we can look at the other stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I'm not offended because, like I said, a lot of times I just stay on one tobacco to really get to know it. Do I like it or not? Because sometimes, maybe your stomach is full one time and it tastes one way, and then another time you try it and it's a different pipe and it tastes different. And it really takes a couple bowls before you really know if you like one. So honestly, that's the way I'm going through year 4. Is I'm just kind of staying on this one.
I also will only smoke Flake Virginia from a corncob pipe. In my opinion, it's I don't know what it does, but it makes them sweeter. I've smoked the same flake side by side in a briar and a corncob because I wanted to see if it was just in my head, and definitely the Virginias are sweeter. Speaking of sweeter, I'm halfway through the bowl now, and this stuff is, to me, it's super, super sweet now. The sweetness is definitely kicked in. That sourness, the tartness is gone, and it's sweet, grassy, and hay-like now. But for those of you out there that have never tried a Virginia in a corncob pipe, go ahead down to Walgreens and buy yourself one for $5 and pack a flake up in there, and I bet it'll change your mind about corncob pipes.
Yeah, I was even at... I think last week I uploaded a video, the one in Detroit that you recommended, where I went to go see the...
Man, them hot dogs look good.
But even that guy, I mean, he was really into expensive pipes, and in the interview, not that you guys had to have looked at it, but if you're watching this and you go to that, the big perk of that tobacco shop review was the interview, and he talks about the real reason to have more expensive pipes. And the exception is, when you're tasting new stuff, he said, man, there's just nothing better than a corncob pipe.
Yeah, because they're throwaways. Yeah, for $5.
And you can really taste it and test it. It doesn't ghost the tobaccos that well like other things do.
Speaking of expensive pipes, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Would you ever be willing to drop $1,000 on a Dunhill? I would never in a million years. My budget for what I would consider a nice pipe is around the $100 mark. I would go up maybe $120, but that's really it for me. Like, I really like Joe Case pipes, but I would never spend $400 for a pipe. It wouldn't, never in a million years would it happen, unless I won the lottery.
I think my cap for a, and it would depend on if I know the guy. If you know the artisan, that changes it a little bit. But my cap even then would be probably $300.
Yeah. I have. When you watch some of these YouTube channels, I mean, their cellar is so full of tobacco, it's going to take them 20 years to smoke through it. You've seen some of those videos, right?
Sure, yeah. Some of my favorite, actually. I love watching people's collections of tobaccos. I mean, I had a pretty big cellar, but I've cut myself off, and I've got cellared what I want cellared, all my tins, and really, for the foreseeable future, I'll probably only buy bulk tobaccos. You know, stuff I can stick in a jar, try different things. Obviously, all the ones that I've had cellared, I've tried. I've tried the tins, I've been through them. Now I have some cellared away for the future.
Yeah, so, but my point was, I think I went through my cellar and my rotation, and just forgetting about my cellar, just the rotation stuff that I have, it's going to take me till next July to get through it all.
Yeah.
And that's smoking at about the pace we talked about. So for me, just because I really like what I saw at the Chicago Pipe Convention, every paycheck, even now, even though it's only August at the time of this recording, you know, I'm taking a little bit each paycheck and throwing it in a little jar so that when I get out there, I've got some money to buy it.
I'm coming up this year. I'm coming up to Chicago. So I plan on, I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, which is like 4.5 hour drive from Chicago. So I haven't been home in 6 years. So I got some aunts, cousins, my brother I'd like to see. So I'm going to build a trip home in conjunction with the pipe show.
So, yeah, that's cool, because I think it'd be fun to do this live with you, you know, record in person. But my point is that I've got a number of months, you know, to save up so that if I see a $300, $400, $500 pipe, it won't really cost me that much because I just saved a little bit each paycheck, you know, because I don't need to buy as much tobacco right now. So I'm trying that, but I don't know, we'll find out. I don't know. I mean, because the people that smoke the expensive pipes, that guy included, and even, you know, some of the people we met at the Chicago Pipe, they said, man, once you have some expensive pipes, you never go back.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Yeah, they were talking about like artisans that are above the 200 mark.
Yeah.
Once you buy an artisan pipe above the 200 mark, it is noticeable.
I would like to get, you know, a Dunhill from the 60s. From what I hear, they're the best pipes ever made. But even like the crappy, this horrible condition ones on eBay, they sell for like a couple $100.
I know, it's a
and then, you know, to send it off to like Cane Rod Piper to get refurbished, you're talking another 60 to 80 bucks there, and it just to get it smokable again. And who's to say whether that it's been abused so much that it's even going to smoke good?
Well, one of the things I tossed out in that review on Hill and Hill that the guy taught me is the Dunhills and, you know, all those old 60s, 70s pipes. What they did is they took the briar and they literally marinated it for half a year before they'd even carve. So they marinated it in fruit juices, different, and so it's kind of like adding salt and pepper to your food. It just pulls out the flavor. He said nowadays, even the artisans, they just grab briar and they start cutting, and so you don't have some of that. So that's why the pipes of the 60s, 70s literally smoke better than current pipes.
Well, also though the tobacco from the 60s and 70s.
What's your guys' oldest pipes you have?
My oldest pipe. I have a one camp from World War II.
Oh wow!
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I bought on eBay a Dunwoody, and I'm frustrated because it needs to get renovated. The stem, so it's probably from the 50s, but it's not smokable. I need to do some repair to it or send it in. And the oldest smokable I have, and I don't know, it's an estate pipe I bought. I don't know how old it is, but I wouldn't think it's that old, you know. I don't think I've got.
What about you?
I don't have any old briars. I had a couple old ones. You had one of them actually. You got one of my giveaway, right? Yeah, from the 50s or 60s. So I bought those couple, and I never smoked them. I cleaned them up real good and never smoked them. But I have a cob pipe from the year I was born, 1978. That's pipe.
Cool.
It's unsmoked. I'll probably never smoke it, just because the plaster of Paris is starting to crack a little bit. I'm thinking if I put heat to it, it would just pretty much destroy it. But it's just neat to have a pipe from my birth year. I got it on eBay for $6.
Nice.
I didn't realize I'm with such pups.
Oh, yeah, you're so old.
Is it a good day down there in Florida?
It's hot, man. 100 degrees. Well, actually, the sun's down now. It's been cloudy now. But this is a brutal summer, man. It's been every bit of 100 degrees every day since the beginning of June, with your typical Florida humidity. You know, 80% humidity. You can feel it in the air when you walk outside. It's you know, we treat our summers down here the way you treat winter up north. You just try to stay inside.
Yep, that's it.
I don't garden in the summer. I just been smoking a lot of pipes and doing some reviews, really, just
So how did you convince Elizabeth to let you stay in the house, smoke in the house?
Because cigarette smoke, I find that pipe tobacco smoke does not linger the way that cigarette does. So I can smoke a pipe, and then a few hours later, we have air filter, that we run, and candles. But I find if you smoke a pipe and you go and you leave the house and you leave for a few hours, when I come back, I don't smell it. And then, I smoke quite a few aromatics. I smoke an aromatic probably 2 to 3 times a week. Maybe probably 2 times a week I'll smoke an aromatic, and they smell nice. So, at least the ones that I smoke. So, my favorite 2 arrows are Sleepy Hollow and...
That's probably my favorite too.
And Hobbit's Weed, which you can't get anymore, but Four Noggins makes a match that's pretty much spot on. And I smoke that now because I'm out of the original stuff. And that smells good as well. You ever tried Hobbit's Weed? It's a vanilla cherry. It's the coolest thing. So if you smoke this stuff and pour yourself a glass of Coca-Cola and you sip the Coca-Cola in between puffs, it'll make your Coca-Cola taste like cherry Coke.
So how does that compare? Since it's a cherry taste, how does that compare to like Cult Blood Red Moon, or kind of a little bit more towards the blueberry Lane 1Q?
No, it's more Colt-esque and the cherry flavor, but I would say a little bit more realistic cherry flavor. I find Colt to me tastes like, you guys remember Luden's cough drops? Remember these used to come in a white little box? That's what Colt Blood Red Moon tastes like to me, and I don't mind that. I enjoy that synthetic cherry taste. It reminds me of my childhood. But the Hobbit's Weed tastes more like a real cherry, but it's a strong cherry taste like Colt is. But you also get the vanilla in there, which I don't know. It's a good combination. I enjoy the stuff. If you want, I'll send you off a little bit. I got, I think, 8 ounces of it. I bought up from Four Noggins when I found out that it was good, just to have. But yeah, I'll send you some, and you can try it. When I send you that vintage Syrian, the newer stuff, I'll include some Hobbit's Weed. I'll get you some too, Bryce. Or did I send you any giveaway? I don't remember.
No, you sent me your English aromatic.
You don't? Do you smoke aromatics ever?
I only smoke 1Q every once in a while.
Okay, I'll include an extra pinch in the bag. Make sure you give Bryce a pinch just so he can try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just send it to me. Save your shipping, and then we'll do a job or something, or test it together. And
yeah, but it's pretty good. I'm not a huge aromatic smoker, but there'll always be a place in my rotation for them. Definitely around Christmas time.
You guys are talking over each other. What always make it in your rotation? Couldn't hear it.
Aromatics always make it into my rotation. They'll always be there. They won't be a significant part of it, but it'll always be something that I smoke. I'm not afraid. A lot of people want to say, I'm always smoke pipe tobacco that tastes like pipe tobacco, like tobacco. I think there's always a time and a place for an aromatic, especially if you find a good one. And that's the thing with aromatics. The good ones are far and few between. So out of all the aromatics that I've tried, the only 2 that I regularly go back to, well, actually there's 3. So the only 3 that I regularly will go back to is Sleepy Hollow by Strauss Tobacconist, Hobbit's Weed Match by Four Noggins, and Cornell & Deal Autumn Evening. But I'm not a huge smoker of Autumn Evening. When I smoke it, I always enjoy it. I got a couple ounces, maybe 4 ounces in a jar. I don't like 1Q. I don't like it.
Have you tried any of the McClelland, Virginia, Cavendish?
No, I just trying to think of the aromatics that I've tried. Sutliff aromatics are horrible. I've smoked several of them, and they all give me horrific tongue bite. I bought some of their, I think Bean Piper sent me some pumpkin spice, which I was thinking might be similar to Sleepy Hollow. That was the worst aromatic I think I've ever smoked.
Let me toss out an aromatic that I think you might like too, that I've noticed other people like. Stay at Home Piper likes it a lot. I like it a lot. Autumn Evening.
Yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, so Cornell & Deal Autumn Evening?
Oh, I think I heard him at the same time you were saying.
Yeah.
I heard you say Cornell and Deal, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so I do. I smoke that from time to time, but usually when I reach for an aromatic, it's going to be either Sleepy Hollow or the Hobbit's Weed. I do have a pretty significant collection of aromatics put together that I'm going to be reviewing for Halloween. I've got some like candy corn and Cavendish in the Woods. Probably Haunted Bookshop. I just ordered some Devil's Delight, which is like $15 a tin. Dan Tobacco. I thought that was better be good for $15. It's only an ounce and a half.
Holiday?
Devil's Holiday, yeah.
I have one of those. I'm almost scared to pop it because I know I'm not going to like it.
What's that taste like?
It's supposed to be flavored with like langonberries, and I couldn't tell you what a langonberry tastes like. I've never had one. I just bought it for the name. I just ordered some Grey Ghost. I'm going to do some Halloween blends.
Some marketing guy got you to spend money for it.
Pretty much. Well, more so, the Grey Ghost has been in my wish list for a while. It's got cigar leaf in it, and I love cigar leaf blends. And Eddie Gray did a review on it, and it sounded pretty good from his review. He smokes it a lot in his videos, and some marketing guy got him because it's got his last name in it. But he really, really enjoys the blend. So it's been in my wish list for a while. I pulled the trigger because Halloween's coming up. But then I've gotten all, like the Cornell and Deal Christmas blends. Obviously, I got Christmas Cheer 2016, 2017. And hopefully they'll re-release the 18 early again this year. And I'll be able to pick up some 18 as well. But as far as Flake Virginias go, straight Virginias, my two favorite are the 2016 McClelland Christmas Cheer, which you can't get anymore. I've got a tin and a half of that. And then Sam Gawith's Full Virginia Flake. And I would say this stuff comes, for me, probably in third. But like I said, it's probably not going to end up in my rotation just because I don't smoke enough Virginia Flakes. But when this jar's gone next summer, when I finish it up after its age, I'll probably end up ordering some more. So it probably, it's going to end up in my cellar at some point.
You guys down at the bottom of that? Or you're not?
I am down at the bottom.
I only packed half a pipe. I noticed we've been on for almost an hour.
Okay, yeah, we better call it a day. So I always like to do a 5-star review of McClelland Blackwood Flakes. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a solid 4. Definitely a worth trying, satisfying Virginia Flake. Very, very nice. I think if you do smoke outside, is it warm there in Minnesota? It was about 55 degrees.
Like 70 some with the nice. I mean,
I was sweating.
I could.
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
So how is it to smoke outside on a hot weather day? Good tobacco for a hot weather day. I've never smoked this stuff outside. Like I said, I don't go outside much in the summer in Florida. But it's a great smoke. It's definitely worth giving a try. What would you guys give this one if you had to do, say, out of 5-star rating?
This is my favorite smoke after mowing a lawn on a hot day with an IPA on your porch.
Yeah, this is a 5 for him, no question.
And for you, Mike?
This is probably a solid 4 also. So this is Bryce's mom calling. Hold on. Hey, I'm doing a YouTube video with your son. Can I call you later?
Hi, Mom.
Yep. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
So you are...
I normally wouldn't answer it, except it's his mom. So
You're Bryce's maternal uncle, then? His mom is your sister?
Yeah, his mom is my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and then his mom and my wife are best friends.
I can't tell if you guys look alike, maybe because of the beard.
Well, you take the beard off, you take the glasses off. He looks a little bit more like his dad.
Yeah, I could see some, maybe in the eyes a little bit.
But I look like my dad, and his mom looks like my mom. So we don't. There's not a lot of genetic appearance between the two families.
Okay.
From that, because my mom's genes got his, and my side gets more of my dad's side.
All right, but we should probably call this one, guys.
I'd say
same time next Sunday.
Yeah.
So great. we've got the 965, the bluegrass. Let's do the Cornell and Deal. You want to do the Cornell and Deal? Yeah.
I already snuck one bowl of it. I love it.
Yeah, so it's got cigar leaf in it. I'd like to do a cigar leaf blend. That's my new thing. There should be more blenders should put cigar leaf in their stuff.
Yeah, so let's do bluegrass next time. Have you had any of the bluegrass yet?
I have not. I have not. So
Yeah,
I've been only smoking this for the last 2 days. And I've got some other stuff I want to review, and I always try to get at least 4 bowls of whatever I'm reviewing smoke before I do the review, unless I hate it. There's been a couple that I've hated where I've only smoked the 1 and then a mini bowl afterwards while I'm doing the review. It's only been on 2. But I want to do a review of mixture number 79 by Sutliff. The Hugh Hefner blend. And Old Blue Eyes is famous for smoking it too, but it's supposed to taste like the bottom of an old lady's purse.
Yeah, lots of
so we'll see. So I think
we're doing bluegrass next week.
Bluegrass next week, same time. We'll try to cut this part out of the video, but we'll Skype again 3 o'clock. So with that, as always, YouTube, keep on piping. Thanks for watching.